I'm Burke McDonald with Schaumburg Heartbeat. We're over at the Prairie Center for the Arts, and there was a plein arts competition over the weekend with the tied in with the festival. And Irene Peterson is in charge of that. She's part of the Schaumburg Cultural Arts Commission. Is that right? That's a mouthful.
That is. It's a cultural commission, yeah, for the village of Schaumburg. There's, I think, 12 members.
Okay, and it's my understanding a few years ago, and we're going to talk to Tom Troush in a little bit,
Oh, good.
but that Tom talked to somebody here and said he thought this would be a good idea.
Yeah, he did. He started the idea, had a kind of a faulty first try at it, and just put more organization behind it, and it was really successful. The first year, we really put a lot of effort into it.
Now, the artists that do it, they don't have to be from Schaumburg, but they have a certain time frame to do this, right? And it all has to be, tell us about what sort of the rules are.
Well, we have 2 weeks to paint, and it's towards the end of April and the first part of May. We have a judge come in. This year we had William Schneider, a really well-known oil painter and pastelist. And so they paint anywhere in Schaumburg. It just has to be within the village. Has to be outside, so plein air painting is all about outside.
Now, you guarantee good weather, right?
Absolutely. Well, that's why we give them 2 weeks, is we know there's going to be, at that time of year, there's going to be some bad weather.
Right.
So within that time, we know that they'll have at least 2 or 3 days where they can have some really nice weather to paint. With plein air painting, you're looking for light and shadows, so it's nice to have no rain, and sunshine is best.
Right. Well, now, when I started this whole thing, I met with Mr. and Mrs., I think it's Stephen Botry, is it Putridge?
I believe so.
Okay, and they were over at the St. Peter's.
Mm-hmm.
We'll show them, they were painting the doors of St. Peter's
yeah,
over
it's
there.
beautiful.
And it was really neat. I got over there and the bells for the noon hour were ringing, so they were painting with sort of a concert going on.
Yeah, very nice, very inspired, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that's sort of a neat deal. Well, let's walk over and see if we can look at some of these situations.
You're going to look at the
What-
prize winners.
Why don't we start with the prize winners? It's Edward Corkery,
Yeah, Eddie Corkery.
and where is he from?
He's from Villa Park.
Okay, and has he been doing this for a while?
He has, we've been doing this for 3 years now, and he has won first prize every year.
Okay.
Different judges every year, but he's an excellent plein air painter. Actually, he's very well known for his art.
Okay. And so there's a prize for the first place, second, and third place, right?
Right. It's $300, $200, and $100.
Okay.
And then this year we have 3 honorable mentions as well. We had almost twice the number of participants as last year, so we had a little extra cash, so we decided we would do some honorable mentions as well.
Okay. I noticed Tom is up there.
Yes.
Why don't we go, I tried to interview Tom. Tom's a famous, not famous, but
He is well-known.
he's gone over to Europe and he has classes and so on. So let's talk to Tom a little bit and see what he has to say about doing this.
Great.
I'm with Tom Troush. He's one of the fine artists here at the Plein Art Festival, and it's my understanding you and another artist from the area started this, even though you're from Woodstock. What got you so interested in starting a festival here?
My friend Clark Bending is from Elk Grove Village nearby here, and we've been painting together for years outdoors. And with him living this close to home here, we said, it was his idea. He said, let's go and present it to the Schaumburg people.
Now, you're a teacher also, and you do workshops and so on. And a day like today, we're standing out in pretty bright sunlight. Is that a trouble for you? You said when you started this earlier this afternoon, the sun was in a different position. Does that make a big difference in what you're doing?
Oh yeah, with plein air painting, it's all about the light and the color, how the color's affected by the light. But the light's moving. Of course, the sun's moving all the time. When I set up, 2 hours ago, I was in shade here, complete shade, and I knew the sun would be moving. I have an umbrella if I have to put it up, but I have most of my painting done, blocked in and painted in a short time here, so I'm going to forego the umbrella. But the thing you have to know as a plein air painter is not to keep chasing the shadows, because they're always moving, and again, the coloration in the shadows is moving, so you put it down once and you basically lock it in. Otherwise, you're going to go nuts trying to keep after it, and it's going to get muddy color.
When you work with your students, what do most of them, you have them start off on so that they can get a feel for the art and everything?
This Saturday I'll be teaching plein air, up in McHenry County at the Conservation District, and they are new painters. And in fact, 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to be outdoors on Saturday. It was like 40-something degrees, and they didn't want to paint outside.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I was all set to go. I said, dress in layers. But I just take them step by step. I try to simplify this process because it's overwhelming when you're outside here.
Yeah, I would think it would be.
There's first is selection. I spent almost an hour plus walking around Volkening Farm here looking for what I wanted to paint, what resonated with me, instead of just jumping in and painting anything, because what means something to me, I hope would show in the paint that I put down to the viewer. But I try to simplify and go through a 4-step process of selection, small composition, blocking the painting in big simple shapes, and then refining the painting till it's finished.
Now you've entered this contest a couple times before, right? And so do you have slides of those that you maybe can send me and our editor can edit them in?
I'd be happy to. I do. I've got them on a flash drive or something. Yep.
Okay, and why don't you give us your email, not your email, but your website, if people want to get involved in a class or something, where would they go to?
Thanks, Brooke. Website is www.trauschfeinarts.com, and my mailbox, Thomas at Trauschfeinarts, is there also. And that website is very much up to date with workshops that are coming up, classes that are coming up, our gallery hours in Woodstock. My wife Gail's an artist, and we have classes there too.
So you could work with new people, and an artist that may be famous could come to you and probably get something.
Am I looking at him or what?
No, not me so much. Now, one of the fun things that I had going out here, and I think one of them is Sandy Schmidt. Sandy is another Schaumburg artist, and Sandy, I found her, she was at the train station, and I think she was over with, you painted over in the farm, right?
Right.
Okay. And she painted at a number of places, and we'll show her picture, or her painting here. And she ended up turning in something completely different. So is it pretty difficult trying to come up with the final decision on what you're going to do?
You know, I know I've had 3 or 4 paintings every year, and you just kind of line them up and decide which one did capture the light better, which has best shadows. And it's fun to do it all. There's a lot of camaraderie in painting with other painters. It's kind of a solitary event. So it's nice to be out with other people. And I have known which one I was going to enter and still kept painting.
And still kept
Yeah.
painting. Okay. I saw you out at the farm, and you ended up with another picture. How do you decide, or another painting? How do you decide what you're going to put in the show?
You know, I always paint in a lot of different locations just because I like to paint plein air. And then I kind of line them up and see which one captured the light best, the shadows best. And I try to enter my very best piece.
Okay. Well, that sounds like fun. Right behind us, Linda Weiss has a painting, and we're going to talk to Linda very briefly. I don't have a real long clip here, but Linda's part of the Chicago Plein Art Painters, and let's listen to what her toughest assignment was when she was painting.
20 degrees in Humboldt Park.
20 degrees?
20 degrees in Humboldt
Your
Park.
paint's even set up in there?
Well, they get kind of stiff, but you have to paint very quickly. But we did it. There were 4 of us that went out that day.
Okay. Are you wearing gloves, or because you're painting?
Oh, yes. Gloves with, little holes, the finger gloves.
Can you believe that she painted in 20-degree weather?
Oh, I know. There's some very loyal plein air painters. It's nice to have oil when you want to paint that cold, but watercolor and acrylic, you can really get some freezing paint out there.
Yeah, I would think so. It's got to be pretty tough. I'm pretty proud of Schaumburg. We've been there's a Plein Art magazine, is that right?
Oh, yeah, Plein Air magazine.
Okay, and we've been in it a couple times, right? As the Schaumburg group?
We have. The digital version of the magazine last year featured our artists and their winnings and the judges' comments, and they also covered a plein air exhibit we had in January. I sent them information about the people that had been in the competition, and they put it in the magazine, not in the magazine. They put it in the newsletter.
They put it in the newsletter. Well, that's sort of neat. That Schaumburg is becoming famous. And I also know, and we'll show various paintings as we go through here, because I went out and looked at quite a few people as they were doing this. And I think the first day that I was out there with you, you were painting, there was a lady sitting on the porch at the farm, and
Oh,
Sandy or one of the other painters was doing the same thing.
Yeah, Peggy Schum.
Peggy Schum, okay. And Peggy said that she was going to come back the next day, even if the person wasn't there, to sort of finish it up. Now, is it difficult, especially when you have a person in it, to do that?
I was working with her trying to capture that lady. We were working really fast, kind of sketched in the whole painting and really concentrated on hers because she was leading tours. So in the middle of it, she was gone. And then she came back and we rearranged her and we painted a little bit more.
Well, that sounds like fun, and I
was.
believe the lady sitting there was enjoying herself, too.
She was having a good time.
Okay, and then on top of all of that, and we didn't capture it, I tried my best, but there was a rooster out there
Oh, yeah.
and crowing.
Yeah, the roosters from the farm, they like to visit, and they're pecking at materials and whatever. You know, they're inquisitive. They want to know where the food is.
Yeah, that's true. Miss Cloesy was one of the painters out there, and it's my understanding she came over here for 3 different days to do it. Does it make it more difficult when you do it that way? Because the light's got to be different every time, right?
Well, we do a value study where we actually look at the lights and values for the painting, and that's one of the first things that we try to capture, actually sometimes in a different sketch. So we have an idea of where the light is, but I'm sure she came back at the same time every day so that she could capture the light and the conditions. And we were very lucky sometimes because we had some sunny days all in a row.
Okay, we're with Jean Cloesy. We were here 24 hours ago, and she was starting her painting or in part of the way through it. And this is, if not the finished product, it's going to be pretty close. And you can see the stream back there. And what made you decide to come back today, Jean?
Well, this was such a pretty spot. I wanted to finish the scene, and I wanted to get it all in painted, actually all done outside. I didn't want to take it back to the studio to finish it because then it's truly not plein air. So, and plein air is painting outside. So
Okay.
hopefully I'll get it done.
Now, today, is there different lighting, or was it about the same? There's less wind today, isn't there?
There's less wind. It's about the same lighting, but I have this umbrella because if I were painting and the light was hitting my canvas, it just makes you paint very dark, and then when you get it home, indoors, it looks very dark. So this way, I've already got, I'm protecting it from the light, so hopefully the colors should be brighter when I get it back.
Okay, and do you decide now, after you finish it, what type of frame to put on it, or had you an idea before?
No, I'll decide when I bring it home.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, let's move on, because Schaumburg for a number of years has been running the Prairie Arts Festival with the art show, right?
Right.
So these painters are all being displayed here for that, which I think is really nice for them. They get to show their work off, right?
Yes, it's very nice. We attached ourselves to the Prairie Arts Festival because we knew people were already coming and would be a good time for us to start our competition and show at the same time so people would be more aware of it. So like I said, this is our 3rd year, and I think it's the 25th or 26th year for the Arts Festival. But it's nice, we're in the lobby. It's kind of funny that the plein air painters are inside and the studio painters are outside.
Yeah, I guess, but you got to protect their
I know.
paintings.
That's right. We're going to be up for a month of June, so it's paintings are on exhibit for a while.
So I teach painting and drawing at the DuPage Art League in Wheaton. But you know, I teach acrylics and I teach oils. So I love them both. I love both mediums. I love to get outside whenever I can. I try to get out, well, at least 10 times a year, if not more. So you got to stay in the shade with this, with your artwork. See how the sun is starting to come around right now. So what I have to do is, I'm moving along pretty well, actually. I just have to put shadows in here, I think. I'm going to put that tree in too, that little red one. I'm going to put that right in there. And I have to put a few little tiny leaves here and there, just to kind of give it a hint of spring. So I'll just kind of dab a little bit here and there. I don't want to put too many though. I don't overdo it. You got to be careful not to overdo it. The thing is, there's so many trees sticking up there. You can't do every one of them, and you don't want to either. You pretty much want to pick and choose. Whatever makes sense.
Now this is a bright sunny afternoon. Does that make it tough to shoot or to paint?
Not really. I like the light and shadow.
Okay.
Light and shadow is very good.
And is this your first canvas for the show, or have you done?
My second.
And where did you do the other one?
Over on Schaumburg and Roselle at the clock tower.
At the clock tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
sculpture's there.
two completely different types of situations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, enjoy it.
Well,
And
thank you.
good luck to you.
Thank you.
But I'm telling that to everybody, just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, during the weekend, or during the show, I went out and Laverne was in one of the tents out there, and we talked to her. So we're going to listen to her a little bit, okay?
Great, she's a great pastelist.
Okay. Okay, we're with Laverne Boland. She's one of our plein artists. We didn't get her painting originally, but you did this last year and a couple years, right?
Yes, last year I did this piece at the Spring Valley Nature Preserve.
Okay, and we're outside and there's a lot of bright light, so it's hard to focus in on this. But why do you like doing plein artwork?
It combines two things that I love. I love being outdoors and I also love making art. So it's a perfect combination.
It sounds good to me, too. Thank you very much for taking the time to stop with me.
Thank you.
Okay, also Ambreen was out there. In fact, she was right out here on the plaza, and her picture or her painting is right behind us, and we're going to listen to her a little bit. She came from work, as I believe, and did her painting and had to do it really pretty quickly.
Well, you know, it's kind of nice. The best shadows are early morning or like 5 or 6 at night during the summer. So she probably has some very good shadows to work with.
Okay, let's listen to her. Okay, where was one of the Schaumburg plein artists? We finally found a Schaumburg plein artist. Can you give me your name?
Ambreen,
Ambreen?
Yes.
And what's your last name?
Afsal.
Okay. And you painted it, looks like you were over at the Nature Center.
I was, yeah.
And what brought you to that spot to do your painting this
Well, I've
year?
been there before last year, and I painted like a couple of horses, and so I wanted to come back. I love that place, so I just chose one spot.
And what time of day was that you were doing it?
It was after I got off from my work job, so it was I think like 4 o'clock, 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you want to move, and let me move over a little bit to the side for me. There we go. And this is a shot, and that's coming down one of the paths over there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When you walk in, you walk by the horses, and then there's this path that goes down. Yeah.
Okay. And about how long? That looks like a lot of work. Did
It
it
was,
take?
yeah. Well, I worked on it like a little bit, and then I went home and then worked on it a little more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's exciting working with a Schaumburg artist, and thank you very much. And I wish you good luck. Have you had a good day at the fair here?
I did, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, as we can sort of get a feel from here, and we're now at one of the other places that you had so many artists this year, you couldn't put them all in one spot.
We did. We tried to get them all on one wall, but it was too crowded. So we have the main wall and then 2 side walls.
But I think what's amazing here with this overview, that we have such a wide variety of things that people can do in Schaumburg, so that everybody can really be pretty individual.
That's right. You know, we have Random Acres, which is right down the street. And yeah, there's El Mason was captured in one of the paintings. A lot of businesses and a lot of people like the St. Peter's Lutheran Church as well, and the streams. And we have waterfalls. We have everything here.
Yeah, we really do. Robert here, Penor, that's right to the east of the Civic Center here, and I saw him out there painting. And this guy is a talker. He likes to, he gives lectures and so on. And he was doing this on one afternoon, and you can see his painting here. So there's quite a wide variety of that people can shoot in the, or can paint in the village. One was over at the train station.
Yeah, that's always, I went over there to try that, and I was wanting the trains, but you know how that goes. They were
Yeah.
really coming and going pretty fast.
Right, and when they come, they're pretty powerful.
But you know what's interesting too is how many different styles there are in the plein air painting. Even when a lot of people use oil, but even within oil, there's a lot of different styles available.
And we're out in the bright sun. Does that make it real tough to do this?
A little bit, and but it's going to be changing so, rapidly here. That right now it's affecting the canvas a little bit, but soon it won't be. So.
Okay. Well, we welcome you to Schaumburg and hope you do have a good show.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure driving around. I have lived so close to Schaumburg and never realized there were so many wonderful things here. So.
Okay. Is this your first painting?
No,
show?
I did one yesterday here at on the other side of this barn, and then this morning at the town square.
At the town square. Okay.
So it's been a lot of fun to drive around and see all the places in Schaumburg.
How do you decide what to paint for each year?
I like to go around and scout out the area ahead of time, and I usually take photographs ahead of time and see what compositions are gonna work for me. I actually pulled my family which place they wanted me to paint today, and they picked this area, so that's why I'm here.
Okay. And we're in front of the municipal center at the little creek, right? Good luck.
Thank you. If I don't get blown over.
Well, okay, we're at the other wall here, and again, it is amazing. The famous muse.
Oh yeah, isn't that gorgeous?
It is sort of neat. It almost looks, it looks nice, and there's nobody running all over it right now.
The kids love to play on that one.
Yeah, they sure do. And we got the Peggy Shums, the lady out on the.
Yeah, this is the one we were talking about. We were trying to capture the lady while she was sitting there.
Now, we're running this obviously after the show and after the festival because it's pretty hard to time this to go to air at just the right time.
Right.
But if somebody wants to get involved and they like to get involved, what would they do next year?
Well, next year will be our 4th year. Everything is on the website starting in January, the prospectus and the registration forms, all the information. I send out an email to all the entrants from the previous years just to remind them that it's time to register. And there's a lot of information in Schaumburg and different publications about the competitions. So everyone kind of knows about it. We publish it in a lot of art guild newsletters. I think we sent it to like 35 different guilds.
And if somebody's really confused, it's the Village of Schaumburg, the website you're talking about, but also they can just call the Schaumburg Prairie Center for the Arts, right?
It's prairiecenter.org.
prairiecenter.org.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And by the way, you have your own website, Damsel Art. Now,
Damselfly Art. Yeah,
Damselfly
I
Art.
do.
How did you come up with that title?
Well, I like dragonflies, and I thought, well, not dragonfly. I'm a damsel. I'll be a damselfly. And Irene Peterson was taken.
And well, I like that one better. It's sort of a neat name, unique.
It is. I don't know if people are going to remember it, but I like it.
Okay, well, I do too. And my name is Burke McDonald, and this is Irene, and we both thank you for watching this segment of Schaumburg Heartbeat, and we hope to see you again soon.